She gets up and she says, Patrick, this is very hard for me to say this. And let me tell you why it's very hard. I said, what's that? She says, ever since in high school, I wanted to prove to men that I can beat them. So when I graduated high school and college, I opened up my salon. We do very well. I've made millions of dollars. My people and my work that work at the salon, they do very well for themselves. I drive a nice car. I have a nice house. I have money. I have millions. I don't worry about any of that stuff. You know what decision I made last night? I said, what's that? She says, I want a husband. I no longer want to compete with men. I need them. And I'm like, what? She's saying this in front of 2,000 people with her sister sitting right next to her. Wow. And now she's getting emotional. How many 65-year-old women do we have to hear saying that I marched with the feminist movement and I bought into the fact that men are the enemy? I've never been married. I'm alone and I'm miserable and I wish I would have never bought into that philosophy.
Most people of this generation fail to understand that men and women are created to complete each other, not to compete with each other. Men and women need each other. It's just simple as that. But we have some other women that work hard to show that they don't need men. On the other hand, men work hard to get women, and usually the women that feel like that they need to prove to men that they don't need them end up regretting their decisions when they reach a certain age.
Instead of referring to someone's sex at birth as biologically male or biologically female, instead use assigned male at birth or assigned female at birth, and the assignment might align with how the person feels about their gender identity, or it may not. An important distinction because this honors the fact that trans people are who they are.
How about we just call people based on what we see in front of us?
I don't expect the school system to reflect or teach my personal beliefs, but I do expect school to be a neutral, safe place for my kids and those of other backgrounds to learn. The resolution has jeopardized that environment in our schools. The resolution is an egregious overstep of the school district into the private lives of families. Students belong to the individual family unit, not the school board or the district. The school district has no responsibility to shape the sexuality or sexual morality or gender of my children. Moral education isn't the role of the school system. It is the role of the family to create values, morals, and a belief system for our children. School staff should not be discussing children's sexual preferences with them, or vice versa, yet this is what will happen if the resolution is enforced. School board and district staff, stay in your lane. Return to a focus on academic excellence. Do not force sexual conversations on my children.
I have nothing to add to that because she said it exactly how it is. These schools and these teachers need to stay in their lane and not teach sexual preferences to children.
I have a serious fucking question, okay? What about this outfit and this person screams woman? How do I keep getting this gendered?
Maybe because you sound like a woman. You still didn't figure that out.
I got misgendered by a random ass little kid today while I was just waiting for my partner to get out of the bathroom, and all I have to say is, at least I don't have a bedtime of 8:30. Also, like, if somehow the universe fucks me over, and the parent of this child miraculously ends up seeing this, do fucking better raising your kid. Maybe teach your kid that going up to some random ass adult and saying, you can go to the ladies' room, it's right over there, is not okay.
Hey guys, I got some okay. So why are you talking about degeneracy in front of a biblical person?
I'm not talking about it. I'm mostly just...
You're blasting music of degeneracy. Okay. So why? I have a question. Why are you talking like that in front of Christians?
Mary was not a virgin. She was a...
Okay, so now you're just being blasphemous. Is this really what you want the image of the LGBTQ to be?
I would love for y'all to get
You're pointing, you're literally making the point. You're making the point.
You love gay I know it. You dream
making the point. This is exactly what the LGBTQ is, and you're making the point.
Bro, it's no point having a conversation with these lost people. They don't even know what they are. So I don't think that you should be expecting having a rational conversation with a person like this.
I just want to ask what makes you so uncomfortable with trans women being confident in themselves. Do you not think that trans women are real-ass women? Because that's definitely what this implies. Who you're copying? We're copying the same people that cis women are copying. Women who came before them. Gender's mimicry. I usually love my job. But lately, the one driver that doesn't listen just constantly misgenders me. I usually love my job. I love working with these kids. I love doing it. There's only 20 more days left in the school year.
tired of getting misgendered and ignored all the time by her. She doesn't listen. I correct her all the time, and she doesn't listen.
Why should they listen to your nonsense? I mean, do you address them with their correct pronouns when you're having a conversation with them? Do you even ask? I don't think so. It's just all about you, and you.
It's really fucking laughable that it's only white people equating slavery to owning an abortion. Not once have I heard one black or woman of color.
Faith, do you want to come up here? Because apparently color matters.
I would like to hear from a woman of color, why
Sure,
that
Faith,
isn't racist.
come on up here.
I would rather hear that.
Go ahead, Faith.
What's so funny?
Why are you pro-life, Faith?
Yes, thank you.
I am pro-life because life begins in the womb at conception. And I think that our personhood, our rights should not be based on having to be human plus something else. That's exactly what happened with slavery, where we were told that you have to be human plus not black. And now we're saying that you have to be human plus a certain age, or human and in a different location. And so really what abortion is age-based discrimination.
Black people weren't seen as humans. They weren't seen as human beings. Black people were not seen as humans. They were like...
The Supreme Court actually said that they were 3/5 a human person. Just like how you all have denied that a child in the womb is a human person.
No, it's not. It's not human.
That's fundamentally incorrect. What is it? What is a child in the womb? Is it a koala bear? When I get pregnant, am I pregnant with a koala bear? I'm pregnant with a member of our species.
A fetus of a dolphin looks the same as a fetus that's a human. You literally can't tell them apart because it's not human yet.
Does somebody else have a question?
I just want to note that as a black woman and as a person who got my degree in biology, life does begin at conception.
Yeah, when she said she wanted a black woman to speak, that meant that she wants a black woman to agree with her when she speaks. It's just absurd to me to see a white woman trying to teach a black woman how to live or how to think, because apparently that black woman doesn't have a mind of her own.
A 4-year-old in my class today was naming all the girls in class, and then she said my name. And I just tell her, I'm not a girl, don't include me. And then another 4-year-old whipped around, she's like, mixed kid is a people. And another 4-year-old at a different table looks at her and goes, they're a they. Made my non-binary teacher heart very happy today.
I have a really proud moment that I want to share. So I'm a long-distance parent, and I get to typically talk to my kiddo through FaceTime. And we've been working on my pronouns for probably about a year now. We talk about pronouns, we talk about, what her pronouns are, what daddy's pronouns are, what mommy's pronouns are, what other people's pronouns are, and we just really work through it. I always just gently remind her and say, hey baby, what are mommy's pronouns? And she's so funny because she's always like, they, them. She knows. This really sweet thing happened where she was going to tell her dad something and used my pronouns correctly without me needing to remind her. Did it all by herself. And I just, my heart was so full. It felt like my child actually saw me for just that moment. Simple as that. Effort is all we're asking for.
Mental health issues, ladies and gentlemen. Yep, we are doomed.
I don't think that anyone will disagree with that. Exactly. All I'm saying is that that's not happening and is not equal for everyone. That those opportunities don't happen for everyone. And I am a living example that they don't. I know that they don't because I live it.
You've been incredibly successful. I think that if you want to win an election, you have to sometimes compromise on the things that you originally believed in.
What's the greatest legislative accomplishment you'd point to?
Oh, I wish I had this on the top of my head, but I don't.
Why is it that most Americans think that Trump handled the economy better than Kamala and Biden?
Because he inherited Obama's economy. Do people understand what a vice president does?
What does Joe Biden do?
He's the president. So she has to do whatever he wants her to do. That's what a vice president does.
By the way, one of the reasons that we're here is because Kamala Harris is a warmonger who wants to send hundreds of billions of dollars to Ukraine while our own border remains wide open, and 320,000 kids are missing in sex trafficking because of your preferred candidate, Kamala Harris. Are you worried about those 320,000 missing kids?
I don't believe that the vice president is responsible for that.
She's in charge of the border. She took credit for the border. She's the border czar.
So we need to pay attention to the context in which people are crossing the border.
Someone is poor. Should they be able to break into America?
So this man, he just walked across the street, tried to give him a flyer, and he turned around and he said, if I was a woman, I would get pregnant just to have an abortion. So it shows you the pure evil of the abortion movement.
But what country would you say is greater than this one? We sent a milk. Reading history. What do you think about Karl Marx? Karl Marx. Bingo.
It's funny, people don't even know my politics based on my appearance, right? Like, I could be a barista at a fancy cafe or the leader of QAnon and nobody knows. How great is that? The far left and the far right have come so far they just look exactly the same. What if we get into a civil war? How are we even gonna know who's on what side? Each side is gonna have to have like their own like very obscure questions only one side would know, right? Like some far left guy sees a guy who looks just like him. He's like, hey, put the gun, you on our side? You a lefty? Yeah? What's a macchiato? I know, it's a small fox. God damn it. What are your preferred pronouns? He, ha, who, what, when, where, why, beep, bop, god damn. The far right, they'd have their questions too, right? Hey, put the gun down. No, their guns would be way bigger, who am I kidding? Put the gun down. Put it down. I got 6 billion rounds. Answer me this. What's the best knife to use to skin a deer? Yeah, I really don't believe in eating man. Did I get him? Look at him. Fucking vegan, so light. Look at him.
That is so hilarious, I'm not gonna lie. Probably should ask a woke liberal what is a woman. That would be an easy way to differentiate.
Great day to save the unborn.
How about real women?
Real women do that too?
Yeah, how about
my mother taught
bodily-
me to
bodily
be against
autonomy?
abortion.
Have you ever heard of that?
Oh yes, I have. So where's the autonomy for the child?
It's not a child.
It is definitely a child.
No.
Well, so what is it then if it's not a child?
It's a clump of cells at the beginning.
Well, are you really? Yeah, you're.
I am a clump of cells.
And you have the right to life. Yes, exactly.
It's because I'm a human being, I'm not a clump of cells. I am a clump of cells.
Well, you are still a clump of cells.
Mothers always give birth to human beings.
Very misguided, uninformed.
Mothers never give birth to like
alt-right
chickens or
men.
anything. They give birth to human beings.
Sad.
You see what happens when they contradict themselves and they realize it? They just go straight to the insults. You're a bigot, you're a tyrant, you're this, you're that. It's just there's no point having a conversation with people like this.